What were the causes of the American Civil War? Well, first and foremost, the election of Abraham Lincoln to the presidency of the United States infuriated Southern plantation owners and Southern politicians. Well, what were they going to do about it? Well, they decided they were going to secede from the Union. They were going to break away and form their own independent and sovereign country. There's only one slight problem. Abraham Lincoln and the Union, they would not accept it, would not even entertain the idea. One difference, well, there were many cultural differences between the North and the South. People of the North and South, they simply lived different lifestyles. An urban society in the North, which people held jobs. That was the North. That described the North. And in the South relied primarily on an agricultural society in which people lived in small villages and on farms and on plantations. Unfortunately, slavery was a cause of the American Civil War. Slavery should have never been an institution in the United States, but it had been a point of contention for many, many years, even in the drafting of the United States Constitution. While the Civil War did not begin as a war to abolish slavery, issues surrounding slavery deeply divided the nation. Northerners opposed slavery. They believed that slavery should be abolished for moral reasons. And Southerners supported slavery. Now, when I say Southerners, I don't mean all of them, but most of them. They felt that the abolition of slavery would destroy their region's economy. There were many constitutional differences in how the North and South interpreted the United States Constitution. An important issue separating the country related to the power of the federal government. So this is where you had an issue between state and federal rights. In the North, Northerners believed that the nation was a union and could not be divided. They supported a strong central government. They believed the national government's power was supreme over that of the states. Southerners of the South would take control of Congress. They believed that they had the power to declare any national law illegal. Most Southerners believed that states had freely created and joined the Union, and guess what? They could leave it as well. There were many economic differences between the North and the South. People of the North and people of the South had different ways that they made a living. In the North, they had manufacturing and they favored tariffs to protect factory owners and workers from foreign competition. The South was largely agricultural and opposed tariffs that would increase the prices of manufactured goods. They feared England might not buy cotton if tariffs were added. The Southern Confederacy, as they would be called, elected Jefferson Davis as their first and only president. There were giant rifts in the United States philosophically. Now, 600,000 people, yes, people that lived within the United States, were killed during the duration of the American Civil War. That's not even counting those that were injured, those that were prisoners of war, those that were unaccounted for. This is one of the deadliest wars in human history. And it was brother and brother, sister, sister. It was the North versus the South. It was the United States of America that had a temporary divorce. On April the 12th of 1861, Confederate forces stormed Fort Sumter, and that initiated the American Civil War. The Union would have none of it. Who knew that a man could be so incredibly unpopular? Abraham Lincoln, when he ran on the Republican ticket in the presidential election of 1860, ran a campaign that focused on eradicating slavery. Who knew that a man could be so incredibly unpopular? Abraham Lincoln, when he ran on the Republican ticket in the presidential election of 1860, ran a campaign that focused on eradicating slavery. Who knew that a man so unpopular like Abraham Lincoln would inevitably be assassinated in 1865 by John Wilkes Booth, a Southern sympathizer who was outraged that slavery was actually going to be abolished. It wasn't just think speak, it was actually going to happen with the Emancipation Proclamation that he inevitably signed and proclaimed that all slaves were now free. Sometimes it's a good idea to wear different hats. This is the hat of the Confederacy. Abraham Lincoln was an opponent of the Confederacy and the Confederacy cause. This is the hat of the Union, and this is a hat that President Abraham Lincoln would have supported in the American Civil War.